Morning everyone, happy Tuesday. This will be just a quick video today because you only have a single lesson. So we are still looking at quadratic trinomials, but we're just going to add in an extra step. So I've called this the sum and product rule with a highest common factor. So I'm going to go through two examples with you and then hopefully you'll be able to do some questions yourself. Okay, so we still have this same rule here. So it's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. We don't have the a here for this one because for these questions we're saying a is always 1. So if we have something that looks to be in this form, when we factorize it, it'll become x plus p, x plus q. Now, p and q, whatever these two values are, when you add them together, they should get a value b, and when you multiply them together, they should get the value c. Again, I feel like it makes the most sense when I do an example, so let's just get straight into it. So we've got 6x plus 72 minus 3x squared. So the first step that you want to do, sorry about that, we've got a little guest here. Do you want to say hello? Okay. All right, so the first thing you want to do is rewrite the expression in the correct order. So we want it to have the x squared part first, then the x, and then the constant by itself. So if I rewrite it, it's going to look like minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 72. You just have to listen. Then we want to find the highest common factor in all of these three terms. So the thing that all three of them have in common is -3. So then this goes back to how we originally started factorizing. So we're going to take -3 out the front and then put everything else in brackets. So -3 divided by -3 would just give us 1, so we'd just be left with x squared. -6 divided by -3 would give us +2, and we still have the x. And then 72 divided by -3 would give us -24. So now we still have a quadratic trinomial here, but we just have a common factor of -3 out the front. So then our steps become the same as they were in the previous video. Identify our b and c values. So b is going to be 2, c is going to be -24. Then we want to find two numbers that add to make 2 and multiply to make -24. So this is where I do my little table. Remember, I always start with the products because it's easier. I find it easier to find all the factors of -24. So these are my factors here. All right, so you can pause and have a little look if you need to. They all multiply to give 24. And then if I use these same factors for addition, this is what I would get. So we can see the top row does not fit both criteria. The second row also does not fit the criteria. The third row doesn't, but the last row does. Now, with this one, I actually had originally done... No. Sorry. I originally had done 4 times -6, but -6 plus 4 would not give me +2. So then I switched it to be -4 times 6 because it still gave me -24. And then -4 plus 6 would give me +2. So sometimes when you're working with negatives, it's a bit of trial and error on which value it should go on. Anyway, so this one fits the criteria. So that means that my p value is -4, q is 6, and I'm going to substitute them into this rule. And I end up with, so I've still got my common factor of -3 out the front, x minus 4, x plus 6. So that is my quadratic trinomial factorized with the highest common factor. All right, I'm going to do one more and then you guys can get on your merry way. Okay, I've got 126 minus 2x squared plus 4x. And the first step is to rewrite in the correct order. So it would look like this. If it's already in the correct order, then you would just go straight to the next step. My second step is to find the highest common factor, and the highest common factor in this one is -2. So -2 is going to come out the front, and then I would be left with x squared minus 2x and minus 63. Then I'm going to identify my B and C values, sorry. So B is -2, C is -63. And then I want to find two numbers that add to make -2 and multiply to make -63. So I've got my little table here. My factors of 63 are here. And then if I use these same factors for the sum, this is what I would get. So we can see that 7 plus -9 would be -2. And 7 times -9 would be -63. Again, if we had done the negative on the 7, it would have worked for the product, but not for the sum. So sometimes you just have to check both options. Then we're going to substitute them in. So P equals 7, Q equals -9. And we substitute these into this rule, still with our highest common factor out the front. So it's going to look like -2 brackets x plus 6 bracket x minus 9. X plus 7 brackets x minus 9. So hopefully those two examples help. I would like you in this single lesson to do all of these questions, or as many as possible. If you get stuck on any, just let me know which question it is. For example, if you get stuck on 6K, just flick me an email and say, I'm stuck on exercise 3E, 6K, and I'll send you back an example. All right, let me know how you go at the end of the lesson. Bye.